Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nick DiGiovanni.
Yeah.
When Gordon Ramsay is in your ear yelling at you,
Stupid cow!
I only got really yelled at one time. I just remember the way he started it was,
Who taught you how to cook? A corpse?
one of our recent videos, we trained a bunch of rats to be able to cook because they're one of the smartest species in the world. And we made ratatouille with these rats, which was pretty cool. So you didn't run out on purpose. I know that for a fact.
that was probably the moment in my life where I felt the most stupid. I mean, look, I felt stupid a lot.
Where's the best pizza on the planet, in your eyes, currently?
Currently, for me, it's
What you're saying is offensive right now.
okay. So the chef that trained Gordon, actually, his name's Marco Pierre White. He's pretty intense. Apparently, he made Gordon cry, and I think he said, I did not make Gordon cry. That was his choice. He chose to cry. Where are you guys headed later, by the way?
Jimmy invited us to go, well, me, but we're going to bring Mike anyways, to go to, he's doing like a Halloween haunted house.
Like the little brother.
Yeah.
No, he's
Oh,
actually
yes.
my big brother.
No, not since you had the kid. Do you want to know really why he brings me along places?
Tell me.
I bring the boom. That's what we do.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry for that outburst.
It's all right.
Okay.
Have we started?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think so.
I guess we could probably start
Yeah.
on your cue.
What should I say?
I think
You just did it.
Yeah, we're started.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I'll do an intro for you.
Okay.
All right. This guy to my right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is Nick. I don't think we started.
What do you mean? Yeah, we did. No, these are the best parts. Everyone loves all.
Yeah, but Nick, you're making me nervous.
Oh, wait, why?
I didn't do anything.
I know it's the way you look, bro.
Oh yeah, me too.
Look at him.
You have any-
You're a gorgeous human. That's better. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nick DiGiovanni. Hold on. Did I say that right?
DiGiovanni?
Ladies and gentlemen. Bro,
Dude, just shut the podcast down. Dude.
He's nervous.
We've just been doing this show too long, bro. So many people have passed us. It's over, dude. If you're still watching, man, please just hit that unsubscribe button. Please tap out.
Give you permission.
Give yourself a fucking.
Over.
It's done, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nick DiGiovanni.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This guy to my right was on Forbes 30 Under 30. He was the youngest finalist in MasterChef history. He's broken multiple Guinness World Records with Gordon Ramsay, and he's got a YouTube channel for cooking with over 20 million subscribers on it. Dude, you're amazing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything to say about being amazing?
I got nothing.
You also forgot some other stuff.
Oh,
No, I just wanted to qualify him a little bit. I kind of just took the top few. People don't know you because the first time I met you was kind of recently.
super recently.
In MrBeast's $1 million influencer box challenge.
Yep.
And dude, I was like, who is this good looking guy? I hate him, right? Because that's
I get it.
That's the alpha coming out of me.
I get it.
I was like, man. But then I started talking to you, and I was like, oh, I love him. I love
Can
him.
I tell you something? I didn't know that we'd get along either myself.
Really,
Then I met you. I was like, I've told so many people now. I'm like, Logan's the nicest guy.
dude. I've been bragging about you. When we got partnered up, I was like, yes, dude.
Kai was upset. He wanted to be your teammate.
I did want to be Kai's teammate at one point, but I thought Nick at the end, I thought in that last challenge, it's funny because obviously if you haven't seen the MrBeast video, that's crazy because it had 250 million views, but we had made it very far.
Yes.
Final 8, right?
We slept over, so we were there. We were there.
Yeah.
I mean, we slept over, which was not fun. I had a fitness tracker on, 0 minutes of sleep that night.
Oh, you didn't
0
sleep at
minutes
all?
of sleep.
Dude, you were also the only one by the door. I felt like you were guarding the
Air
whole
conditioning.
Oh.
You run hot?
Yes.
Same.
I put my room 60, 62. So
Ooh.
air conditioning right by the door. I was worried someone would wheel me out during the night, but I was like, I gotta risk it.
That's cold. That's frigid, bro.
That is
60,
freezing, Nick.
Did you have did your parents allow you to touch a thermostat when you were a kid?
No, my dad was super intense about it, actually. They
And
were really,
was it a hot house or a cold house?
it was usually whatever you didn't want it to be because you know what I mean?
100% hot in
Yeah.
the summer, cold in the winter.
Yeah. No, we were not supposed to touch it.
Got it. So
Yeah.
when you get your own place, now it's time to rebel.
Now I
I'm
just
turning
go
this
for
into a meat locker.
I don't know about meat locker, but I just,
Dude, 62 degrees.
That's cold.
That's meat locker.
but you know, when you set it to, it's just like cooking like an oven, right? When you set the oven to something and then, well, this doesn't really make that much sense. I'm just not even going to go there.
Everything you do in life, you should relate it back to cooking.
That's good.
I was like, I'm not going to start this. It's not going to work.
Yeah, but that box challenge was really cool because we got to meet a lot of people that we just didn't know, and you were one of them. I walked away thinking like, dude, I'm glad I've fostered that relationship with Nick, who I really enjoyed.
I totally agree. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we started small talking. You were telling me about tuna. I was like, this dude knows a lot about tuna.
Yeah, too much almost.
No, because you made whole videos about cutting a really expensive tuna in Japan.
Big bluefin tuna.
Bluefin is Otoro the highest level of tuna rating?
So it's not about the rating. It's
Or
the
is it-
different cuts in the tuna.
Oh, it is. That's a different section. See,
Yeah.
I want to preface this before we even start this part. No, as we said earlier, normally these food conversations are limited. I get about 15 seconds,
Okay.
and then it's got to go back to wrestling.
Because you
or
love
lunch.
food. I know you
I'm
love food.
obsessed with food, bro.
Yeah.
And today I feel like I have pretty good permission
Run it.
from my boss
Yeah, run it.
and the Illuminati by proxy
Okay.
to have these food-related conversations. So, okay, so what part of the tuna is Otoro from?
Well, so I'm the belly, right? So a tuna has 3 different parts: otoro, chutoro, and akami is the lean tuna, the bright, beautiful kind of reddish color that you
Yep.
see. So yeah, you have a taste for finer things. Huh?
Otoro for sure.
Yeah.
About what's it like? Pay like $23 a piece for
It's
it.
expensive,
but it's so worth it.
because there's not so much of it in the tuna.
Right.
But yeah, in a really nice big tuna, you'll have one cut, of that beautiful fatty. Because what it is just like Wagyu. It's like that perfect marbled fat in between intramuscular fat, right? It is what happens in Wagyu. So it's like this actually helps explain it really well. So Wagyu has intramuscular fat, which means fat between the muscle.
Yep.
And that's why there's spotted stuff between the little bits of muscle in the Wagyu. Same idea with Otoro.
See,
and
we
Chutoro.
could go like disturbingly deep, which we're not going
I
to. but,
actually
like,
do want to dive into this tuna thing. I think tuna's fascinating.
So
and
are we
this
going to
is-
go all the way to marbling score? Because we can go to marbling score if we.
I mean, I think that might be above
Yeah,
Logan's
it
pay
is.
grade. I think that's above his.
No, because he tells me all about the marbling score.
we did.
Okay.
I got him a 12 in
Wow.
Vancouver. He had
Okay.
the 12 Wagyu. Yeah.
Okay, no one's gonna know what we're talking about.
I know somebody will.
Okay, no.
Somebody
So
will.
technically, it was like an A6 Wagyu. Like
Yeah,
you hear about A5 Wagyu. What we had in Vancouver was like
he was
saying.
kind of big up, and
He's making that up.
It
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
It was a
for
sales
sure.
point. Yeah, I spent $2,000 on a piece of meat.
No, but it was a 12. He brought the nose sprint certificate.
Yep.
Like it was an actual 12, but A6 is not real. That's not a real thing.
That's not real.
But you were diving into this tuna, and you were telling me how expensive tuna can get in Japan, and how they're so particular about the type of tuna that hits some of their market.
It's really intense, right? Because even the top tuna sellers, there's one guy called the Tuna King. Do you guys need to close that, or you?
It is kind of cold. I mean,
Well,
like,
he likes it. It's like 60, 62 in
it's
here.
on its way down to 62.
Is it?
No, it's fine. I run hot as well.
This is too cold for you guys.
No, I
Love
love
it.
it. I have
Love
a,
it.
I
Okay,
have a
good.
sweater on.
So there's a guy called the Tuna King in there, and I've gotten to meet him a couple times, and he's like sort of the top dog in the tuna purchasing space. But he picks who he sells his tuna to. So if you don't do good things with his tuna at your restaurant, you're not buying his tuna.
And they
It's
have
pretty
that
cool.
once annual auction. What was the highest tuna that ever sold? It was like 2.3 million or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, something crazy. I don't know the exact
Fish,
number, but it was.
dude. That's
it was
the
up
same
there.
price, ironically, about the same price as the Otani home run ball.
Wow.
Which one would you rather take, a giant tuna or a Otani home run ball?
Oh,
I might take the tuna.
no way, Nick. No way.
I might take the tuna.
Anyways, we started talking about this tuna. I was like, bro, I like this kid. Then we just started shooting shit. And we got to the cooking challenge. You and I had somehow made it into the final 10, which at that point is like half odds, half strategy.
Mhm.
And you were like, yo, do you want to team up? And I'm like, I don't know, bro, because Jimmy like is gonna pin us against each other.
Right.
And people thought I rigged the game because you, the top chef, ended up as my partner for the cooking challenge.
No, we were just having fun in there, and we wanted to
Vibing.
team up.
I was so happy you were my partner.
It was great.
because I got to see you do what you do best.
My element.
I realized quickly why you had 20 million subscribers. And now, dude, I was telling you, my algorithm, especially shorts, Nick D.
Wow.
Nick D. Yeah.
Look at that.
Do you have a lot of beef in the cooking world? Like, are there chefs that you would want to take?
There's a lot of actual beef, like literal the
Yeah,
food,
yeah,
right?
got it.
But in terms of the beef, terrible joke.
No, that's
No,
good.
that was
Can
good.
you guys just laugh?
No, I did. I was laughing on the inside.
We'll cut it like it was funny.
But what do you mean?
Like, okay, like for him, for example, he's like the alpha guy. Like somebody steps to him, like, "I'll beat you up," right?
Sure.
For you, like, is there like, do you see Do you appreciate all other chefs' work, or is there somebody that you're kind of like, damn, bro, like if I went head to head with him, I could beat him right now?
I think there's always going to be competition in anything. I think competition is fantastic, right? I'm not trying to give like the basic political answer, but I do think it's one of those things that makes you wake up just a little bit earlier if you have a couple people out there that keep you on your toes all the time. So yeah, I'm sure there's a couple people out there that, but at the same time, I think we're really focused on trying to grow, not past the food space, but just like really try to do all sorts of different things and not always just super strictly food, right? And so that's why we experiment with like kind of bigger ideas and bigger videos now. Like we just, one of our recent videos, we trained a bunch of rats to be able to cook because they're one of the smartest species in the world. And we literally trained these rats to be able to do different things. And we made ratatouille with these rats, which was pretty cool. And like, that's not cooking really, right? But it's like totally different and it's fun. So I'm trying to break outside the food space a little bit on that front. Or the cooking space. I'm trying to break outside the cooking space a little bit and go bigger. But yeah, I think it's like there are definitely like names that come to mind of like different competitors in this space, but I think everyone's pretty respectful with each other.
You are obviously so successful at what you do. What you do is also cool. You're like 6'2" and you're extremely good looking. Why are you so nice and not a douche?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why do you think?
I don't know. You're a sweetheart. This
Probably
is the first thing.
is it your upbringing?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, my parents are super strict. And I have three younger brothers. So we all keep each other in check a little bit because the first three, boom, 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 we're consecutive.
And this is and you're from Boston originally.
Grew up in Rhode Island. So I grew up
sorry, from Providence, and you live in Boston now.
So I grew up in a small, you know, the smallest state in the country. And so, you know, probably that helps. It's quieter. It's like more low key. But yeah, you know, I was lucky. I had a great family.
RI gets no Rhode Island gets no respect.
Rhode Island's the best.
Zero.
Rhode Island's the best.
Do you ever hear the way Rogan talks about like state, like he calls Connecticut the drive-through state because there's no reason to stop.
What do you call Rhode Island?
It's just so small.
It is small, Nick.
That's fine.
No, it is fine.
Yeah.
Of course it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, when you want a girl to think that you're like hot, but she calls you cute. It's just not really what you were going for. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
Of course you don't, bro, because they call you hot.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
But can I just say,
Sure.
I think, but Rhode Island's the ocean state. We just talked about tuna for a while. There's a lot of tuna from Rhode Island.
Yep.
More, I guess maybe more from Massachusetts, but it's a beautiful state. I don't mind it being small.
If you really repped your state, wouldn't you have gone to, isn't Johnson Wales in Rhode Island?
Mhm.
And you went to CIA?
I almost went to cooking school. I didn't go to cooking school though. I did like a little boot camp there.
Oh,
You're right.
got it.
But I went to college and then I just.
See, that's what I'm really curious about because, like, cooking in general, there's an art. It's an art.
Mhm.
It's an art. What you do is like artistic. It
involves all your senses if you think about it. Right? Think about it.
Let's break it down.
Put it together.
Let me put this together.
Okay.
Smell.
List out the senses for me and I'll tell you where it happens.
Okay. Smell.
Smell. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You're smelling things all the time. You want to make sure something's not getting burnt. You know, that's easy.
Touch, obviously, just touching the
You're
food.
feeling things all the time, moving pans around.
Sight.
Yeah.
Well,
I've cooked blindfolded before, but
you cooked blindfolded today in your challenge.
But it helps to have sight.
Taste.
Taste all the time. You're supposed to taste all throughout cooking, of course, and then when you finish, that's the best.
And the last one, the ability to see ghosts.
I think they might have messed up.
I think you might have been confused.
Yeah.
What's the fifth one?
Hearing.
Hearing. Yeah. Explain yourself. How do you hear it?
I mean, being in the kitchen, it's amazing. You can tell if and when something's done sometimes, probably just by. I mean, I can sort of almost feel it now and hear it by just by if I close my eyes, I can listen and if something's sizzling in a certain way, I'll know if it's done. Also, here's a cool thing. You know the raindrop sounds in a movie I heard are made with just sizzling bacon in a pan. If you
Have
really
you ever
think about
watched
it.
that before? How they do it? They're all the sound effects are so
Isn't that cool?
interesting how they make it all. There's like behind the scenes stuff. Now, you need all of those to cook. But recently, I know we're all over the place, but maybe it's fun. I don't know. Recently, I tried one of those places where you take away one of the senses while you eat, blindfolded. They call it like dining in the dark.
I haven't done this.
It works.
It does.
It really does work. So you actually, They actually blindfold you outside of the restaurant.
Okay.
And they lead you to your seat. They don't want you to have any kind of perception or understanding or thought around what the space around you is like whatsoever.
That's crazy.
So they lead you in. If you have to pee, you raise your hand. They bring you to the bathroom. Then they take your blindfold off. They come back.
Wow.
You knock. They grab you. They
And it
bring you
works.
back. It really does heighten your other senses when you
Okay.
take away one of those senses because I think it eliminates some of that brain activity and it diverts it to one of the other senses.
If you can't see for some reason, it's actually really hard to tell what you're eating.
Oh, that was a problem. And they gave
Yeah.
us one of the foods they gave us was soup. You know how hard it is to eat soup blind?
Yeah. Why is that?
I'm not a big soup fan.
Really?
But I bet you can make it.
Sure. I mean, soup is fun in the winter, maybe once in a while. That's
Not
about it.
gazpacho.
It's okay. Yeah, sure.
Well,
I don't love gazpacho either.
I hate it. It's cold.
Yeah. I just find soup to be boring.
It's what I don't understand. Like you didn't go to cooking school,
No.
so how do you know how to cook so well?
Well, just same thing. Family growing up, I had two great grandparents that I got to know, two great grandmothers on my dad's side. One passed away when she was 99. One passed away when she was 101.
Oh my god!
And the one that lived to 101 cooked a lot and really well. So I got to watch her a bunch, and then I got to watch my dad's mom, who was also fantastic in the kitchen, and then MasterChef after college.
MasterChef was crazy.
MasterChef was crazy.
Youngest finalist in history.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Were you scared of Gordon Ramsay?
When I went in there, a little bit, but also I don't get really that nervous by meeting anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. I'm just sort of like, because when you meet anybody, you guys know this, you meet anybody and you're sometimes just like, you see this huge personality online or on TV or whatever, and then you meet them and you're like, oh, look, the 6 foot, he's just a 6'2" regular guy.
There is truth to that. But there are sometimes some people,
Sure.
like the Rizzler, for example, who like you meet these people and it's just like, I get it. I understand like why you are you. Aura.
Dude, no.
He's a hater.
No, I'm not. I'm not a hater. I'm an appreciator of the opposing viewpoint. I'm a fan of AJ and Big Justin.
Yeah, bro.
To me, two people that actually bring the boom far outweigh someone who, in my eyes, doesn't bring. He doesn't bring the same
insane.
level of
That's
boom.
insane. Have you
He
seen his
doesn't.
face? Bro, Jimmy Fallon was just a guest on Rizzler's show.
Whatever, dude.
By the way, he does bring the boom as well.
Did the
He's on
Rizzler
same
come
song.
up? Did the Rizzler come up at the same time?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, they're all in the
Same-
club. He's independent. He's an independent artist.
I'm just going to let this play out. I didn't want to interrupt.
No, because I don't really have anywhere to go with it. I just think about what AJ and Big Justice have done for the economy, for corporations like Costco. Like, what is the Rizzler's true economic effect been?
Dude, honestly, how dare you? How dare you?
I'm asking you a critical
No,
question.
there will
You're
be
just
no-
providing sentimental upsetness.
Nah, bro. Have you seen that face? I met the Rizzler
course
in real
I've
life.
seen it.
I met the Rizzler in real life, and the amount of aura that guy has is it's tangible. It affected everybody in the room. I seen a tweet saying like, "I'm tired of these fake celebrities." First off, what makes a real celebrity? I'm tired of these fake celebrities taking over. And it was a picture of like the Rizzler, and I'm like, man, you clearly never met the Rizzler.
He kind of reminds me of Tony Soprano,
Yeah.
and just like a strange.
I have no
roundabout
opinion
way.
on this.
Okay.
So
So wait, you're telling me when Gordon Ramsay is in your ear yelling at you, you smell like wet bed sheets.
pretend, let's do that.
You're an idiot sandwich.
Pretend you're him. Pretend you're him for a second.
This beef Wellington is horrible. You're horrible. You're a horrible person. Your eyes, I wish you didn't have them.
Do you have a better British accent? Scottish?
Who taught you how to cook? A corpse? Fuck you, mate. Bring it back to Arsenal. I don't know. What do they say? Like, this porridge tastes like dog meat.
I think that your content itself, the words you said were better, but your accent.
All right, give me the words.
I don't. There's something about his eyes.
Your eyes, mate. They're lying to all. I'm
Yeah.
just.
So I only got really yelled at and reamed at one time. And it was, I do remember it. I just remember the way he started it was, he said, "You," and he was standing on this balcony and he said it like that. It was just very intense. And what had happened was he had told everybody to stop cooking for a second. And I didn't hear him because when I cook, I get locked in sometimes, right? We were goofing around cooking and I was kind of messing around more. When I cook, I get locked in. And I was locked in. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't hear, so I kept cooking. He stopped the whole room and he just must have yelled at me for probably a minute. Maybe it was like a minute and a half. I don't know. I got bright red, just kind of stood there and looked at him for a while, and then he stopped, and I think everyone just felt bad for me. It was almost sort of like sad because I was just like this little kid at the time.
How old were you?
Well, I was old enough. Like I was like old enough to get yelled at, certainly, but like 20, I don't know, 20, 22 maybe.
Still very young.
Yeah, I was young because everyone else in the room was probably over 35, 40, right? So I was young, but
what were you getting reamed for?
just not listening enough. Like he said, like I've been telling you guys for X amount of time, stop cooking. You know, when I tell you to stop cooking, stop cooking, all this stuff. Yelled at me and he just kind of put me back in my place for a second. And then and then it kind of cooled down. He explained what he needed to explain, which probably took less time than he actually spent yelling at me.
Yeah.
And then we kept cooking. But it was just kind of like humiliating, right? Because for the rest of the day, I had my tail between my legs and I was just sort of like.
Does he feel bad now that you're like a internet cooking superstar?
We just passed him on YouTube.
Like that's what I'm
2
saying.
days ago.
Like you essentially
really?
sunned him.
Congrats, dude.
Well, and I'm only saying that by the way because we had a whole campaign like subscribe to catch Gordon, whatever. Which was really
and it worked.
Fun. Yeah, he knew about it too. He mentioned it. I got to go back and judge one of the episodes of MasterChef last season. He mentioned it to me, and he's cool. He's so cool.
Well, you've gotten to spend a lot of time with him off the show because you guys have done a bunch of challenges together.
Yeah, he's great.
Is there what's like something that no one would ever suspect about him that you know? And
you know what I think is super cool that I will say is just like it's the classic case of somebody who he goes around the room, he knows everybody's name, he asks how your family is, he asks, meeting as many people as he meets, he might not remember every single detail. I don't think it would be possible, but he actually seems like he cares what he's hearing and when he's talking to you. Last time he came and shot with us, he walked in the room. I remember my camera guy went over to try to mic him and he's like, no, hold on for a second. He just sat down on the counter and we must have talked for like 20, 25 minutes, just like the two of us hanging out, talking, asking me how I'm doing, how my parents doing, because he's met them and my family and all that stuff. And so he's just nice. He's a cool guy.
So,
wow.
So a lot of times when you meet, is it kind of similar to, not to compare the two, but like meeting Logan and having like a completely different like idea based off of what people say about them, and then you meet him and you're like, wow, he actually is a really.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, I thought I would like Logan probably less than I thought I would like Gordon Ramsay because you just like, you have a lot of stuff that people go after you online.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't believe everything I see on the internet, unlike I think a lot of people in the world. They just see anything and they're like, oh, that happened, right? And I think we know like a lot of the time it comes out that something may have not happened or just someone made something up, right? But I mean, the internet's a tough place to live, as you guys know, right? But I think Gordon I just thought was going to be a little bit meaner in real life, and he just was not mean at all.
But there's a lot of like nuance to this stuff, and then once you factor in like the entertainment content side of things, like entertainment is entertainment, and sometimes like being mean, especially on a chef show, is amazing. I also think it's so cool that you're probably the most successful, like whatever that means, person to come off of MasterChef, and you did it with this internet uprising because you have this passion. This artistry of cooking that you like, and then you turn it into content. But when did that journey start? Because you've got to be one of the biggest cooking channels on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's our next goal is we're going to try to just, for fun, we'll try to get Guinness World Record most subscribed. I think the most subscribed channel has like 30 million.
Who is what's his name?
It's an ASMR channel.
Where's Zach? Is Zach on?
I think it might be him.
Zach Choi.
Yeah. I don't know him, but I think it might be his channel.
He's great. He's fantastic as well.
Yeah. The videos are cool, but I think it was probably just a little bit after MasterChef. I was back in Boston experimenting. TikTok blew up. TikTok, not for me. I'm just saying TikTok went crazy as a platform. Yep. And then I just started making fun videos on there, and then it just kind of rolled into something bigger that I'm sure you guys get it, right? When you start making videos, there's like an art to it that you kind of fall in love with eventually, and it becomes like I don't know about you. Maybe you guys
No, he does. I mean, what?
Do you love the art of making content? Because every time I talk to you, you're just complaining about it.
Okay, well, I'll explain. So outside, I love this, right? And I do a show on YouTube called The Night Shift, which has had varying levels of success over the years. In my eyes, if you don't evolve, you'll eventually look at the craft as mundane. At first, yeah, for sure. When I first started doing them, now I feel almost obligated to my audience, which I don't have a problem with. But you do need to evolve the craft. The thing I really wanted to ask you about on your side is, whenever I talk to people that want to be creators, the the thing I always tell them, but which also ends up being the biggest risk. Because listen, there's a bunch of cheat codes out there. If you want to blow up right now, go say some fucked up shit. Go talk about politics, talk about religion, make fun of somebody, say some messed up stuff. You can get a bunch of followers easy, right? But to truly go into a niche space and truly like dedicate yourself to it completely, especially a space as a man, especially a space to like cooking, right? There's a little bit of risk there. When you first started making your videos, were they 100% focused on food the entire time since the get?
Since the start, yeah.
Got it.
It was cooking, yeah. But it morphed from sort of like basic, simple cooking all the way into sort of these bigger, crazier ideas, you know?
The way I've always looked at it with the niche thing is you'll with like the overall stuff and general stuff, you can have like a pretty solid audience. You do this, you do that, and like it kind of goes with you. With the niche stuff, you're either going to fail or you're going to be the biggest thing in the world.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of one or the other, but
it's tough.
I'm sure you had a video that popped off that kind of
early.
Yeah, skyrocketed your career.
Yeah, we had one that was making chocolate from scratch, like fresh. I started with fresh cacao pods, the fruit. And I'm sure you guys now have seen that online, maybe at some point, but at first no one had seen that online. It was not, it wasn't really done. And then we got these pods, which are really hard to get. Ecuador is probably the number one go-to place to get cacao. We got these pods, we made chocolate. I kind of made it like in a sort of hacky way, and it was filmed horribly because I didn't understand how to use my camera and the lighting and all this stuff. But it worked, and it was cool, and it was intriguing. And then after that, it just, I just saw a little success there, and it was just so much fun. And I think every day after that for like a year, I must have made it at least one video.
That's how you have to do it.
Definitely.
Just keep, you just put in the reps essentially.
Yeah.
But you're a relatively like new creator, correct?
Yeah, like 4 years now, maybe.
Bro, that's insane. That's the amount of success you've reached in 4 years is wild.
It's a lot of subs.
Have you been pleased or disappointed at all by anything involving this YouTube life?
It's stressful for sure. I mean, we have an awesome team. It's a very small team. I saw a video a while back where you were telling that some guy that you have a super small team. I remember you went like that with your fingers. You said we're locked.
No, they're here.
Yeah.
They're literally here plus manager Jeff, and that's it.
Yeah, I remember you said that, and I thought that was cool because it's just the same way that I am. Is like we have a nice small core team. I get really sort of bothered when there's a bunch of people spread all over the place and it's just sort of a mess. And you need to trust like this small group of people and then all be on the same page. And then I think once you have a team so big that you start not knowing people's names or you just don't, then it's like it's hard to tie it all together, right? So I like having a small team. But YouTube is stressful. I'm definitely just every day that goes by, more and more and more and more stressed.
What's your output? How often? Your cadence?
We put long videos out every 2 weeks, but it's, a lot of them now would take 4 days to shoot, or like this upcoming video we're traveling to 6 different places around the world: Hong Kong, Mumbai, Dubai, like I think New York, and then we went to Copenhagen. Like it's just crazy.
For one video?
For one video.
And
that's insane.
And that one's not out yet?
No, but it's just visiting all these craziest restaurants all around the world.
Where did you go in Copenhagen?
Alchemist.
You went?
Yeah. It was crazy.
So I've done the experience, not in Copenhagen, but they did a pop-up, a $10,000 plate pop-up at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I didn't spend that much.
First of all, you can get into Alchemist. People can't get into Alchemist. It's not a reservation that you can make.
That's why we went. It sells out in 3 seconds.
It's insane.
Guess how long the meal took?
How long?
Guess. Take a guess, Logan.
I guess a week.
For dinner. No, for dinner.
I don't know, 2 hours?
For dinner.
4 hours?
A week?
A week?
That was your guess?
It's a long dinner.
4 hours.
Never had a week-long supper?
I don't know what if we've been preparing it.
8 hours.
So you just sat there for 8 hours?
Full 8 hours, 5:45 p.m. to 1:45.
Craziest thing that they gave you?
I ate a butterfly.
Same. The freeze-dried butterfly scared the shit out of me.
Rabbit tartare.
I didn't
raw rabbit sashimi, raw rabbit.
This is wild.
Did they give you that backlit cream that you scraped off with a cracker and it had like a backlight to it?
Oh yeah. That was good. Yeah. Also, they gave us a glow-in-the-dark drink, which was pretty cool. They turned off all the lights, and then there was this glow-in-the-dark drink that was pretty sweet. Honestly, it was crazy. 50 courses, 8 hours.
Tell them what. Do you know a movie is based on Alchemist?
Is it The Menu?
Yeah. So for anybody, anybody who's seen the what?
Honestly, it was just kind of like even standing outside, it was kind of creepy. And then there's like this one moment where you go into a room and there's just this girl sitting there and she doesn't say any words and she's kind of dancing around and like looking
Yes.
at you. And then she all of a sudden has a bucket of paint and she just like takes the brush and just eats the paint. And you're like, what the hell's going on right now? And then she gives you a bucket of paint and it's edible and you just paint the walls and like have fun for like,
Was
crazy.
Was the environment there immersive in
Yeah.
the restaurant? Because when I went, they had like screens everywhere. They had geishas. Like it was real. But the butterflies,
it blew my mind.
I
the whole
had
thing.
I had trouble with.
But oh no, I had no problem. I'll try anything like that. Any food, I will try it once. I'll try it once. It blew my mind. But anyway, it just.
Do you have a favorite restaurant?
In the world?
Yeah.
My favorite restaurants are the ones that are just like genuinely just the ones that are not fancy. I like to eat pretty quickly too. Like go in, have a great meal, have some fun, and then get out. Like I don't like sitting there for too crazy long. As I've grown older and matured, that's what I prefer. It's
So you
just
don't like the gastro stuff?
I just don't like super long meals.
I don't love them either. Because do you remember where you went in Dubai?
We haven't gone yet. It's Oceano. It's like in the aquarium.
Because there's a place there called Tresson Studios as
Okay.
well, which is number 11 right now
Okay.
in the top 50.
Yeah.
It's an Indian inspired menu, and it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
So me going to Alchemist is more on me going to Alchemist is for my subscribers. Like that's because I know it's going to be crazy for
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
I would not go myself for an 8-hour or 6-hour, whatever it takes if you're just eating really fast meal. I wouldn't do it.
So gun to your head right now.
Favorite restaurant?
Not or even what food are you gonna eat? Hey, guess what? You're going to the afterlife today, buddy, with the Rizzler.
Probably some real. I don't even know who that is.
You have to go with
Who's the
sorry.
Rizzler?
He was a guy we were talking about earlier. Aura. A lot of aura.
I don't know who it is.
Dude,
Jimmy Fallon just did his show.
Show him the thing.
Okay.
What? He does this.
Scratches his chin.
Yeah, but
Yeah. And he's famous for it.
yeah.
Wow. Good for him.
What food?
Seafood. I just grew up in New England, so just like nice crudo, maybe some raw oysters, some good fish, like some raw fish, sashimi. Probably just some fresh, good seafood. Maybe clam chowder, like a nice, simple seafood.
I love oysters, but I have to be honest with you.
Okay.
The thought that like they're pretty much hit or miss is a little scary.
What does that mean?
Like, man, you have to be honest, bro. If you order oysters,
Yeah.
there's a 33% chance they're not going to be good and taste too fishy.
Well, it depends where you go, right?
No,
You got to know where to order them.
yeah,
Don't
but I
go-
don't know. I just order like I like oysters.
Don't go to a random restaurant where they just have one type of oysters on the menu and order those oysters because that's not what they're focused on. That's not a specialty. They just have that on the menu to have that. Go to a seafood place. Go to a place that has 3 or 4 different types of
I see.
oysters and you can try them out and they have someone in the back that knows how to shuck them and they're keeping them on ice when they put them out. And yeah, I mean, I don't order oysters unless I'm at a place where I know they're going to be good because
That's
A, I don't want to get sick.
yeah.
And they might not be storing them right. And B, if they're not selling them fast and all the time, then they're not turning over a lot of oysters, and then you might get some old oysters.
Some not fresh. Are you
just-
East? Do you know what if you prefer East Coast or West Coast?
I really like Kumamoto's. They're super cucumbery kind of. I think Japan and I like the small ones. I like the small ones.
Why does Japan produce so much quality product? They are just
They're just masters of their craft when it comes to seafood, and I think they just happen to be in a place that has some really nice fresh seafood. If you look at the whole coast of the West Coast and then Japan, that whole kind of area that is just
Have you spent a lot of time? Have you spent time there?
yeah. I mean, we've gotten to travel so much for food because you have to go around the world to try different food. So we've gotten to go all over the place.
I wanted to ask you, when you're traveling, I'm sure you're running into esteemed chefs
Mhm.
often. You know, I would call them your peers. But do they ever look at you with a stigma like, oh, that's the YouTube chef? He doesn't run a kitchen. He doesn't have his own restaurant. He makes YouTube videos about cooking. I'm a real cook.
I don't know what they say behind closed doors, but I think that I would have thought that they would be like that, but I don't think that they're like that. I think
Really?
everyone knows that the times are changing and that everyone's super open and nice about new people coming to the space. And I think they know it leads to more creativity. And hey, I mean, we make videos at some of their restaurants and then people hopefully go to the restaurant. So I think there's definitely a nice relationship there, I think.
Do you ever want to open up a restaurant of your own?
I would love to someday. If I find the right partner and the right people, I would love to start one in Boston and then spread out from there. But
Dude, you have to.
it's not the top of my list right now, but I would love to.
Do you like smash burgers?
I love them.
Because I mean,
He's got a 6 smash burger and a restaurant.
Mhm.
Okay, then I would love to try one.
Dude, it's called 1010 Burger.
Yeah.
Because he has a burger
review channel. Well, he rates burgers
Part
on
of
his
my
channel.
YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's actually, I would say, the most popular like burger review
Nice.
on the internet.
I've definitely seen some burger reviews. Yeah.
Yep.
You definitely have.
Yeah.
And he's eaten burgers all over the world, and so he decided to make his own burger, and he calls it a 10 out of 10. And it's
Nice.
bro, it's like
Good
if
name.
it's not a 10, it's like a 9.8.
Right, yeah, which I'm fine with.
But it's great.
It's a great
I would love
burger.
to try
I found a chef in LA. He not only understands like the process of making smash burgers, but how to teach it, Chef Jackson.
I love
So
the
his
girl.
whole role before joining the company was teaching other places how to make smash burgers. So you brought up Gotham, and Gotham in New York is top tier.
Very good.
Smash burger.
I call that a very solid 9.5.
I'm just interested to see where like the smash industry goes and like that concept goes, because like you kind of saw it with chicken. It popped up with
Mhm.
Cane's and Dave's Hot.
Yep.
Then it was now Cane's and Dave's Hot made a name for themselves in the industry and like took over a big enough spot that they're doing billions of dollars in annual revenue. That's insane.
crazy.
Like really, like Cane's is going crazy, right? I just haven't seen anyone do it in the smash space. And then the next question is, what's next? Like, what's going to be the next food to become like that social media viral food?
It's a good question. If I knew the answer to that.
You should think about it.
Or you can just market make it because you have such a big audience. You can just
Right.
decide what you want it to be and make it that.
Try. The problem is, honestly, it's not my expertise. I'd need to find someone, of course, right? Because you saw, like, you can see what happens if you really try to blow something up huge, right? It's just hard to keep the quality. And I mean, I have to be careful. I want to be careful about that for sure. We could drop everything right now, go to the kitchen back there, and I could make a really good smash burger or whatever you want. But
yep.
obviously, if I then tried to just sort of
Scale
make
it.
it more widespread, it's hard.
That's
So I
always
don't know
the
how to
problem.
do that.
What percentage of the time are you cooking for work versus cooking for leisure?
Unfortunately, probably 98 to 99%
Work.
No way.
And I used to have, I used to be a lot more fun in a different way, right? In college, I worked at a restaurant right up the road from my dorm. So I would finish class on, I actually would kind of organize my classes around it, and I would finish up class, and then, I'd show up at maybe 2:00. I'd be prepping until maybe 6. It would open up, and then boom, 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 all the way to midnight. And I just cook and have so much fun. It was the best.
And you were at school at where at this point?
At Harvard.
Oh, over at Harvard.
Yeah. Did you already know the answer to that?
I mean, I did. I'm not sure the audience did.
Okay.
That's crazy.
But I like
Okay.
how that you just toss that in there, you know?
Yeah,
You created a food major there.
I did. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Because I really wanted to keep doing stuff with food, and there were 49 majors, and I didn't like any of them. So there was one that was you could create a special one, and I got all these professors to help me out, and it took like 2 years to make, but I finally, because it was hard to prove to Harvard that they didn't have something that would work for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They make it really,
Food and climate.
yeah.
What's the relationship between food and climate?
Well, that's a really important relationship. It's like one of the biggest things that impacts climate change, right? Is a bunch of things that relate to creating food, and then a big part of it is the food waste. And then it's just kind of an endless cycle of just.
His sister and his brother-in-law came over to the place we're staying at right now, and they told us that they didn't eat red meat. And I said, why? And they said, well, for the animals and also for the environment, the climate. And and they said it's because the cows are farting
Methane.
And
Yeah.
I know about this, but I didn't realize that like 2 people not eating red meat would potentially like fix that.
Well, it's not two people. It's supposed to be part of a.
It certainly sounds. I know, just like humans have been around for 200,000 years, and we've eaten red meat the entire time. So, what about now makes people think that not eating red meat will help the environment anyways?
Well,
the cows are farting.
No, well, for the.
I want to ask the guy who went to Harvard for food and
Yeah,
climate.
you're right.
I think you're maybe missing the point a little bit,
I'm
right?
definitely missing the point. I don't think I understand. Red meat's great. I love Wagyu.
Yeah, red meat's nice. I like red meat as well, but it's just more the fact that it just creates a lot of emissions to make meat. But I'm never going to be someone to go and tell people to stop eating.
By the way, they didn't tell me, they didn't preach. I was so curious because like, dude, I love red meat. I love red
good.
meat.
The reason why it's probably worked for X amount of years, but might not as much now, is because of how many people there are on the
Yes.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like, the production of beef has become a mass production event where we're like literally farming cattle at like and by the way, this is coming from someone who needs to do so to produce enough meat for the burger restaurant. So I'm not knocking it whatsoever. I'm just telling you that's where all the farts are coming from. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you get like a good corn-fed fart. Because in England, for example, they require you to use grass-fed beef, and I don't like the finish on it. As
I
much
didn't
as
know that.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I like corn. I like a grain-fed grain-fed through because this is technical.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so the relationship between food and climate.
Sure.
So that's one. So beef, but I'm sure like how people. Talk to me about the weight.
The waste,
the waste.
it's a huge part. Right?
What's that?
The estimates say we waste about. I mean, people are always going to argue what's the right number, but about a third of the food that we create may be wasted, which is a lot. Think about it.
I did.
A third of all the food.
I put a shrimp in the trash can today that I didn't use. Is that what we're talking about? Like, am I the problem? I am, huh?
I just pulled a small piece of shrimp that was stuck in between my teeth out of my mouth. Is that food?
Don't waste
Is that food?
No, bro. Asshole.
You might be the problem.
Pick it up. Eat it.
I can't find it.
You might be the problem.
Damn.
So,
I'm used to being the problem, I feel like.
why is food waste such an issue? Is it because?
Well, think about it. You just create all this food and then it gets thrown away, and then make it again.
So the waste is on the production side. You're not talking
it's
about
a mix. No, it's a mix for sure. Like there's going to be a nice spread. I don't know the breakdown of it honestly, but I probably did in college. But it's a mix. Like I'm sure there's a bunch wasted on the back end for consumers at restaurants and at home and everything like that. But then also along the process, throughout the whole supply chain, there's just things being wasted the whole way. Farmers have to throw out tons of their crop because maybe it didn't get bought, or it just it's a whole mix of the whole.
And what
A to Z.
And so the main thing that you're trying to prevent or at least discuss preventing in this program is impact on climate. Yeah, is impact.
Oh, I was just
climate
studying
change, or
I was just studying it to learn more about it myself, honestly. And I was just studying it to learn more about it myself, and it was an academic enough subject that they would accept my concentration. So I mean,
so you don't care about the environment.
I do.
At all.
I was gonna say selfishly, I cared more. Selfishly, I cared more about the food. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to do. I wanted
Right.
to study food and stuff with cooking, but also I was genuinely interested and intrigued by the environmental side of it. So I thought that was, and then now I wanted to kind of keep that trend. So we have like at the start of everything, I told myself I would never do merch because I kind of like to just be different where I can, and I feel like everyone has merch. But we created a merch company like earlier this year where we donate 10 meals per item sold. And that's just like a simple, fun way to just, like there's little facts if you want to read them there and all that kind of thing. And then it's kind of a fun way to just get people to.
It's pretty successful, right?
It's good. It's nice.
Potato?
Happy Potato.
Yeah.
It's like a silly name.
How many meals have you guys donated?
In the hundreds of thousands.
That's awesome.
It's new, obviously. We're starting out with it, but it's a lot. It's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah,
It's
so
good
fun.
to see you going through the merch funnel, dude. I feel like if you want to really call yourself a YouTuber, you got to go through the merch compound at least once.
I thought I never would though,
Yeah.
but this is fun because it's a good
Giving
thing.
back.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, it probably makes you feel good.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's crazy to hear that you aren't like cooking for yourself or your girl that
It's
much.
really a bummer.
What are you eating?
I order out. I order
Postmates.
I order out a lot. I
No
really
way.
do. And also I have restaurants in Boston that because I do travel a lot. So it's nice when I go home to just like go to dinner with like some friends or just check in back at a restaurant and see the chef and hang out and mess around there. So I love that. But also I do take out quite a bit.
Are you okay? Let me ask you this.
I'm tired at the end of the day.
What do you
Yeah,
what do you
that's
get? What do you get?
We just cooked, right? We just
Yeah.
cooked for what? Let's call it 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
3.5 hours. It's tiring.
Yeah.
Your legs get tired at the end. Your brain gets a little bit tired depending. I mean, are you a little tired from it or no?
I am. I totally hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. It's just like
It's hot.
I love good food.
Yeah.
And like if someone around me knows how to make good food and like likes to do it, the quality of my life really increases. Like my fiance plays that role in my life.
Mhm.
I found out she could cook really well after I got engaged to her. Like it was probably the best bonus any man could ask for.
Mhm.
She had like hinted at it and then she started, but dude, I'm so grateful for it because
Once in a while.
she provides for the family.
Yeah,
in
no,
a
I
way
love
that I couldn't.
once in a while, I'll if I'm in the mood to cook, especially, and I'm just like, hey, do you want me to make some dinner tonight? I'll whip out some, like the last thing I think I made for my girlfriend was like it was a sort of a Thai curry soup. It had mushrooms. It was a super silky smooth soup. It had mushrooms. It had I toasted pine nuts and blended those up in there. There were peppers, garlic, all that kind of some Thai curry paste, and then I topped it off with these homemade croutons and some toasted pumpkin seeds. And it was actually really good soup. But I just was in the mood that day. Like, I got home and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to cook today. And I cooked that, but it doesn't happen that often.
I'm glad that your girl doesn't just like you for your cooking, it sounds like.
Yeah, I hope not.
She likes you for your Postmates.
Yeah. All the takeout orders. Yeah.
When you go out to dinner, are you drinking? Do you drink?
Not
at all?
often, no. Do you?
Yeah, often.
I don't. I didn't really. I think really the first time I was always a goody two shoes. I told you. I think the first time I really drank was like after senior year of high school. Yeah.
That's on the East Coast. That's late.
That was me.
That's
That was
really
me as well, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then something happened where just like, I hate drinking.
Yeah.
But I like being tipsy. I don't like any alcohol, like except espresso martinis, which I adore. But besides those, man, like the taste of alcohol it really is just like poison. And the after effect is
I don't love it, but I do once in a while for sure, but not often.
Yeah.
Not often. But it can make a dinner fun. Yeah.
So I'm trying to gauge you, man. Like what vices do you have?
Come on, you gotta like sports.
Yeah,
Gambling.
you gamble?
Sports I like. No, I don't gamble. No. You guys like sports?
I like sports gambling.
I mean,
I just do. That's my vice.
I'm in Boston, so you kind of have to like sports to.
Well, yeah, but if you're in Boston, you also should like sports gambling. I'm sorry. That's kind of a part of your economy there. You actually, you know what I'm saying?
I just
it really is. Wait, where do you quick, just really quick.
I'm off the hook, bro.
I think my vice is travel. That would be my vice.
How's that a vice?
No,
that's
that's no, but it is. I think travel and food. Like I almost become blind sometimes on a menu to I'll care about how a lot of things cost in regular life, and then on a menu, if I'm just like, if that thing looks really really good and I want to try it, it's like I'm just gonna try it and maybe I'll learn something from it, and I don't care.
How much movement we talking about? Because I'm a mover too. He'll tell you
movement on
how often, like moving around the country, flying.
How many flights you? I'm gonna do 120 this year.
I'll probably be right
around the same.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. What's your
probably a few less? I'm gonna say closer to 100.
Where's your favorite place that you visited
ever?
Yeah. I know that's such a hard superlative, but like, or give me a couple.
A couple, yeah. I mean, definitely. The top one I will say that comes to mind is Japan. I really do love it. I like the culture, the people, like it just, the food is fantastic. And like I said, they're masters of their craft. Yep. And they can become really good at anything. They have one of the best pizza restaurants in the world this year. And that's just crazy, right? So cool. So I do like it there. I love New England, like the East Coast. I like home a lot.
Well, I can't count that as a travel.
No, I know that's not so much of a travel. Mexico, I think, has some of the best food in the world.
Come on.
I love Mexico.
That's my favorite. That's got to be my favorite food.
Fantastic food. It's just unbelievable.
Did you do Singapore? You did, right?
I have not been to Singapore.
So I was just there last month, and they're notorious for having some of the cheapest Michelin food
carts and
yeah, they're called hawkers.
Yeah.
So they're like little food halls. And I tried this Malaysian dish there.
Was it amazing?
Nasi lemak. It was incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah. Singapore's cool. But I think my favorite place is actually, if you would like to go there, I'd love to connect you, is Finland.
So I just went to, so I've been to Iceland now, which I love.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I've also been now just to Copenhagen, which was also really cool. Very short. See, that's a good example of travel, like 24 hours there and we left, right?
Yeah.
But I really want to go through the rest of it, Sweden and
so Finland. If you go up to Lapland, which is inside the Arctic Circle, you've done Oslo.
It's amazing
up there, bro. Like stuff that you didn't even. First of all, the seafood, like Norwegian crab, that type of stuff, which you'll love. But also just like stuff I didn't really know existed. Like I knew reindeer existed, kind of. But like the idea that they were just like running around and like would come and like hang out with you and like cuddle with you and stuff, but then you would have to eat them. because there's not like a lot of other
That's
meat
just-
there. Yeah, you kind of sorry about that last part, but beautiful. Like Finland it's like very untapped wilderness.
Yeah.
That's like
I would
my
love to
kinda
go there.
hood.
I would love to go there. Yeah.
When you're eating a dish at a restaurant or just that maybe someone else made for you, be honest with me. Are you judging it?
No.
Not at all.
Not really. In my head, maybe a little bit, but I'm not picky. if they, I meant subconsciously.
Okay.
Subconsciously, I probably am. I
Okay.
think you have to be, right. You're
Of
just
course.
like, this is soggy or this is delicious.
Yeah.
But I think like if someone brings me a dish at a restaurant, I'm trying to, and chefs are often really nice. They'll bring me a lot of extra food at a restaurant. They want, especially if we're filming, obviously they want you to try everything. They want you to see everything. But if the chef knows that someone there is really passionate about their food, they want you to try it.
Yeah.
So oftentimes I'll get a lot more food than I bargained for or even ordered.
Oh yeah.
And I often feel pretty pressured to have all of it, but you know, so because I know how it is. I've worked in a couple restaurants now, and I know how it is. I almost cried one night when I was cooking at that restaurant in college because someone sent back a steak. I was on the grill station during that time. They sent back a steak. They said they needed it cooked more. And when you're in the heat of the moment in the kitchen, you're sweating. It's the middle of rush hour and service, and there's a lot going on. Like the last thing you need is a wrench thrown into your whole plan. And you already have this whole list in your head of you've memorized all the dishes, and you have to know what's coming up. The chef just shouts everything once, right? And you just have to lock it away and put it in order. And so I had this whole order, and I was already struggling. I was already underwater. They call it in the weeds.
Yep.
I was in the weeds, and someone sent back a steak, and I just wanted to like drop everything.
Were you over or under?
They wanted to cook more, and I said to the
that's
chef,
fine.
I was like, this is right though. This is medium rare, and he's like, I know, but I don't care. Like, cook it more. And I just wanted to just drop the plate on the ground and leave. It just killed me.
It feels like one of those jobs where like
It killed me.
low key the customer's always right, even if they're not. Even if you gave them exactly what they ordered, like what are you gonna do? Like, well, no, you said medium rare, buddy.
Probably depends on what restaurant you're at too,
That's
to an
true.
extent.
That's true.
I mean, there's chefs who I've marched out to the table.
No way.
And yeah. So the chef that trained Gordon, actually, his name's Marco Pierre White. He's pretty intense.
I know. I've seen his clips.
Yeah, he's pretty intense, and he would actually supposedly he would just tell people to leave, and he's like, I don't want your money, get out of my restaurant.
Gangster.
Yeah. He would just be like, get the hell out of here. I don't want your money. Don't come back. And then there's a clip too that's really funny of him saying something. Apparently he made Gordon cry, and I think he said, I did not make Gordon cry. That was his choice. He chose to cry.
I like that.
Which is really
I
funny.
like that.
But so like there are definitely chefs out there that
Yeah.
I think will probably come back and throw the plate at you or whatever.
How much
More back in the day. Back in the day, I think that happened. That would happen.
less plate throwing nowadays?
Nowadays, it's much nicer and more civil in the kitchen.
Dude, I'm one of those people that has a really hard time being honest about food.
In what way?
Like, if the waiter comes over and is like, "How's your meal?" and
It's amazing.
and it's horrible,
Yeah.
I'll not only will I say it's good, thank you, I'll tell them it's the best thing in the world because I panic.
You kind of go over the top.
Yeah. How's your meal? Oh, this is
I don't think-
honestly so good. Tell the chef.
So that's really nice of you, but I don't think you have to go that far with it.
I panic.
But I think it's nice that you don't complain or anything.
It's
like
also
that.
not abnormal. Like that's so many people. And it's funny because he'll be telling me, and I'm the kind of the same. I think a lot of people are like that. He'll be telling me right
In the
before
moment, I'll be
waiter
like, bro,
comes over
this
and be like, this is fucking terrible.
How's your food? But
Like, he'll be
honestly,
like-
I love
He'll
it.
be like, I want to go get something after because this is so bad. I'm still going to be hungry. I can't even eat this shit. And then, the waiter will come and be like, how's your dinner? And he's like, it's so great.
That's nice though. That's really nice.
But I also feel like
I appreciate that as someone who's been on the other side of it, and you know, hopefully the stuff that I made was usually pretty good, but I'm sure some days I oversalted it or whatever it might have been, right? And people generally were still pretty nice.
if I feel like by telling the chef in a nice way, I could actually be doing a service for the restaurant because like y'all need to know that this particular piece of food is way too hard or something. I will be vocal about it because like I feel like a chef would appreciate like genuine candid feedback sometimes.
If they care, they'll watch the plates that are coming back into the kitchen, and they'll take note. Maybe the dishwashers will take note of what's being left on all the plates. That's what they'll do, right?
Okay.
They'll watch, and if they're watching and they care, then they'll figure that out on their own. If no one's touching this one part of the plate,
Because bro, I will be honest with you. I'll get a little pretentious here. I'm pretty traveled and worldly in terms of food.
Okay.
I do know what a good dish is and what a bad dish is,
Sure.
and I do know when I'm right. Like if I'm providing feedback about taste or like how salty something is, or it's only because I am certain this is not the way this should be done.
Sure.
Well,
Otherwise, yeah, it's the best thing in the world, even if it's not.
that just means it's left like the area of like subjectiveness too, because at the end of the day,
Yeah,
like, you can't really give someone like feedback on like their song being the worst song you've ever heard because it's only to you.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
and
the hard
food is like that. But
I've done it, and the chef comes to the table and goes, "You were right." Like multiple times to go, "Here's the new dish." Oh, you're right.
Obviously we've all seen like how big the bear has gotten.
Yeah.
Like people are, and rightfully so, are very intrigued by the restaurant life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I personally spent my first job ever was a dishwasher at TJ McKiff's in Milford, Connecticut. I spent a lot of time in restaurants, and I will tell you, there really is nowhere on earth like a kitchen during a rush hour, especially in a place like Boston or some. You're not only are you dealing with ego from one end, you're dealing with you know, just the moment and everything that's going on. Honestly, there's a huge drug culture and alcoholism culture in restaurants. It's in a lot of smaller restaurants, they call it the circus. It's a very fiery place to fucking exist.
That's the first time I ever saw any kind of drug was in the restaurant.
What?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I walked into the bathroom and the chef was doing drugs, and I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Well, dude, I have to be honest with you. Okay,
Yeah.
so I say this with privilege.
Okay.
I've had a handful of private chefs now,
Okay.
and I always told myself, like when I was trying to make it, I said, the day I am able to hire a private chef, that's when I'll be able to say like I made it.
Wow.
Because I just think that's such an amazing privilege
It's really
to have in your life.
That'd be amazing.
And I can say that every single private chef I've had is such a unique personality and character in a way where I've come to realize that chefs are artists.
Are 100%.
Like actual artists. They may not be like painting, but like their behavior is that of an artist. And a lot of times that artistry does come with like a bit of degeneracy. And I love it. I personally love it.
Well, also think about how they operate, right? Is most of them are working when everyone else is playing. If you think about it, that's what's happening, right? And so then that's tough.
Yeah,
that's really.
You're
tough.
in a kitchen at midnight. It's Friday night. Think about it.
You're
to your
looking
point,
out over the kitchen.
everyone's having a good time partying.
Oh, God,
so a lot of
tough.
times that rolls into the thing that you want to do in the kitchen. I'm sure a lot, and also what you just said too to the artist point, which is such a great point. And I was thinking of it as you were saying it, is like that's also another thing that makes taking feedback from you know, no offense, but from Logan Paul,
For sure,
you know, that much more difficult,
I totally
right?
get
Because
it.
they're like, yo, this is my canvas, dog.
Yeah.
You're shitting on a plate that I've perfected with the team here over the past 13 years. You're telling me it's too salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Didn't
and you're not, and
something
that's not,
happen at that restaurant in Vancouver? I think something did happen. I think the chef brought us out like his special dish, and we were all like, "Yo."
well, I mean, that place was incredible.
I
though.
thought
that was
I
some
thought
of
there
the
was
that was
one
some of the
thing
best
that-
pasta I've ever had.
I
What
thought
was
there
the name of
one
the place
thing that
again?
wasn't. No, I don't. You shouldn't say it at this point.
Okay.
They remember that he brought out that dish that he was like, "This is specially
Yeah,
prepared from
because
the
there
chef."
was
We didn't order it,
Yeah, because there was one thing that we didn't like.
but like that's a little awkward. Like I thought like the chef is being so generous, bringing out this dish that we didn't order, but he made for us, and he's like, this is his like go-to, and all of us were like,
You didn't like it.
yeah. I didn't say anything in that case. Obviously not.
Well, yours and his and my palates clash quite often.
Mhm.
I mean, we've got so, dude. I've brought you to some places and been like, "Yo, this is like far and away known to be the most notoriously great place in the city," and you'll be like, "No, this is terrible."
But it's not just me saying that.
It'll be you and Nina. But then everybody else, and there's groupthink there, and then everybody else who reviewed the restaurant will say the opposite.
No, that's not.
Listen. At the end of the day, at the end of the
okay.
day. No, but at the end of the day, all I'm saying is this: it is subjective. It's
Yeah,
subjective.
it is
thing,
subjective.
Totally.
right? At the end of the day.
Totally.
You're right. You're right.
And like, dude, like I think that maybe the dish that he brought us might have been like a tartare
Yeah, it was
or something like that. And some people just also don't. You like it,
sometimes
or like or like.
But Nina loves tartare.
Do you like carbone?
I've been once. Yeah.
To New York, or they have a carpaccio there, for example. That I adore.
Yeah.
Some people just don't. You know the one I'm talking about, and some people just don't love it.
Do you have an inherent bias against chains like that at all, like a Carbone or a Catch?
No.
No,
Mm-mm.
because like I love their food,
Carbone's
but I know some people kind of categorize it in
Yeah.
like mainstream chain restaurants, so
yeah.
they immediately.
Well, so
think
what
the food
happens,
isn't
right,
good.
is a chef will often start at one place, and if it gets really successful and they kind of franchise a little bit or kind of branch out, then the chef will move to the new ones, and the quality will often fall at the first place.
They've
That
really
happens.
they have really consistent quality. The thing
They
is
do.
like people that eat at that level that are spending, for a group of 4 people, $700 to $1,000 for
Mhm.
dinner, right? They have this pretentious like bouginess a lot of times, and they'll like to act like as soon as a place becomes a small chain of 5 to 7, it's too mainstream now. So I'm gonna go to, Angelini just opened an LES and I'm
Yeah.
gonna go there instead, right? It's like kind of a thing. But Carbona's done an incredible job, and they've really like brought they kind of had like the spicy
Vodka rigatoni.
rigatoni
Yeah.
was kind of the dish that blew them up,
Mhm.
and they do. I think they do a great job across their chain.
Yeah.
I mean
They
they're
definitely do.
I think they've got 7 or so now, and they're international as well. So they've got Saudi.
I
and-
love Carbone. I love.
Have you been to Saudi yet?
Like
Saudi
the
Arabia?
actual place.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You should come there. You should come there for Riyadh. season.
We're going to Dubai on a couple days.
Dubai's so cool.
In a couple
man.
days.
Oh, maybe okay.
We're going to Dubai in 3 days.
We'll talk after. You're not leaving Boston?
To live?
Yeah.
Not right now.
You
My
love
grand.
it?
So I had 4 grandparents before COVID. Then I lost 3 of them during COVID, which was tough. But I have 1 grandparent left who I'm super close with, my grandmother. So I see her I'm going to see her on Thursday. I see her all the time. Every time I'm home between travels, and she lives in Boston. So that's one reason to stay. And then my parents are here. My family's here. My brothers are spread around. Like 2 of them speak Italian, and they're in Italy right now, just living there for fun. we almost have our dual citizenship for Italian and the American passport, which will be
Whoa.
really fun once we can travel around Europe with that.
Are you 100% Italian?
No, I'm like a quarter Persian, a quarter Italian, a quarter like from the UK. And
Like
then,
your last name, bro.
and then-
You could be a mob boss.
you think so?
DiGiovanni?
That could be cool.
That's
East
gang-
Coasters are such mutts, dude.
I
You're a
didn't.
mutt.
Yeah. It's a good mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in a different life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're too nice to be a mob boss.
but you never know. Maybe
Yeah.
something just sort of.
That's true.
I don't know.
You also have the Celtics too, which is a good reason. I mean, bro, they're
The sports are really fun. I love. I mean, you've probably seen maybe too. We've done a couple things with Tom Brady because his whole team's
Yep,
still back
yep,
in Boston, which is
yep.
pretty cool. So I love the Pats.
you did something with Tatum.
Yeah, we've done stuff with Tatum.
Too tall.
Yeah, true. We're going through the roster of we've done a couple things with Chara, who's the old captain of the Bruins.
Yep.
So
So what do you miss?
I'm a big hockey
Red
guy.
Sox.
I play hockey like 2-3 nights a week in Boston, which is fun.
Oh,
when
wow.
when I'm home, when I can, ice hockey. Which
It's a
is
rough
fun.
place to play ice hockey, isn't it?
It's fun though. It's awesome.
Do you love the movie The Town?
I love the movie.
That is such a great Boston, dude.
Boston is the best.
Boston
I know.
is awesome.
You know why I like it the best though? This is a sort of a sneaky small part. The airport is 7 minutes
Logan.
from my
Yeah.
Logan International.
Yeah.
Logan.
Yeah, it is really close.
7
to the
minutes
city.
from my apartment. I fly all the time. I get home. Boom, I'm home in 10 minutes.
That's amazing.
It's the best.
My
It's the
favorite
best.
person in the whole world lives there. His name's Waleed. He's very
Okay,
cool. Yeah.
cool.
I go watch basketball games. He's just overall nice guy.
We should go to a Celtics game too. You got to let me know.
I would love to do.
But yeah,
that.
I mean, Sports City, it's the best. Yeah.
What about
family-
food there?
Family, the food's good. It's good New England seafood. Family food, sports are great. Airport, yeah. I mean, I got a good little setup there.
What about weather? Isn't weather like a big
Yeah,
thing?
it's
cold.
It's a
It's
bummer.
it's
It's
okay.
it's
Yeah.
a bummer in the middle of the winter when it's just cold and wet out.
Yeah.
You know, it could suck, but I get to travel a lot, so.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you could. You can pop everywhere from Logan.
Yeah.
What's that one? Main Italian spot in Boston where you go up the stairs? It's like on the second floor. Everybody goes there. There's Portnoy's pictures on the wall.
There's like Strega. I don't know which one you're thinking of. There's a
Doesn't
bunch
matter. Thought there was.
because there's a whole north end. So like, there's a lot of. I don't know.
Forget everything I ever said, kid.
Okay.
Just keep doing what
okay.
you're doing.
Okay.
What's your end game? Do you know? Like what's your
I don't
plan?
know.
What's your plan?
I
right
don't
now?
know.
What do you
I don't
think?
really plan more than 1 to 2 months in advance. I would say.
Wow.
This space changes really fast.
Yeah, it does.
And I just like to kind of enjoy the ride.
It
so
does.
I'm actually not sure.
That's so interesting.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm surprised. I feel like a restaurant has to be in your future.
I would love to do that. Yeah. It's just hard. It's hard. It's
It
really
is so hard.
When the time is right, I would love to open a restaurant.
Yeah, because you have the built-in promo.
I've gotten close before, and then it just hasn't happened yet.
Are you concerned at all about either A, burning out, or B, becoming stale at all on YouTube?
No. I mean, the most important thing I think is for me to try to just kind of keep it sustainable in terms of the stress levels, which are really, really high. So I've kind of like trained myself to how can I push it a little bit higher, which is probably not the best way to think about it. But I just sort of feel like there's going to be stress. So let me just figure out how to deal with it. That's the worst part about it all is the stress. It just sucks. But I mean, I work, I really like to work too. So I will work a lot. I mean, I work a lot, but it's fun. You know, I like it.
Can you break down for me what exactly the stressful part is?
I think this travel, I hate flying. So the travel is tough, but like, I kind of want to, I need to travel. Like I want to go see new food, new places, new things. So I need that part of it.
What's your flying looking like, by the way? That's
one of my vices, by the way. Yeah, I would say like I'll get nice seats if that's.
You're always 100% of the time.
Not 100%, but most of the time.
Lay flats as much as possible.
Yeah, when I can. Yeah. I like the space. Yeah. How about you?
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I haven't flown. It's occasionally like I've got to go rally to Miami on Thursday. It's an hour and a half flight. There's a chance I might, but if I'm flying, I've in the past week I've been back. I was in New York last week, flew back to LA for 2 days and then flew back. Like I'm back across the country constantly.
That's one of the few things I meant to mention that I will spend money on is like comfortable seats
nice
on the airplane.
What's your preferred carrier?
Well, JetBlue is out of Boston, so I like
that's
JetBlue.
Right. They're a huge hub, so you're a Mint guy.
Mint taking
I'm a big,
everywhere.
I'm a big JetBlue person. And
they have, and by the way, it's perfect for the show. Because I go, me and you have very similarities on what we're like rating and stuff. Because airlines are a huge thing for me, and I've got the whole breakdown. I would say Mint is probably the best domestic provider.
They went from having none to having Mint, which is the best.
Whoa. And what's the reason?
Yeah.
Besides your nice pod, their food is very, very good in Mint. They have a very cool offering with like an artistic, like curated menu.
It's actually very good food.
Except I don't know if you know John and Vinny's in LA, the Italian restaurant. It's like our street Italian restaurant. John and Vinny's does their meatballs and ricotta on Delta. So when you fly out of LA, you can actually have their meatballs.
Okay.
And Delta one's good.
Cool. I prefer JetBlue food over any airline 100%. In the US for domestic, and then internationally, I think obviously you can start getting some really good food on Emirates and Qatar, and there's some really good ones out there for food. But yeah, flights, I hate flying, so that's a big piece of my stress.
The actual like,
I hate it.
Going up in the air and
all of it.
How do you calm yourself down?
It's so like I need to sit on the right side of the airplane, and
only the right side.
Yeah, I only like the right side of the airplane.
Why?
I don't know. It just happened.
What do you mean? How?
I have no idea.
It's just a thing.
And then I stay up really late before my flights the night before, so I get myself tired, and then I can try to sleep. And it's the worst. I hate flying. I think about it. I have a play. This sounds crazy. I have a playlist for turbulence when the turbulence gets
that doesn't sound crazy.
I open my phone. I have a special playlist.
What are some of the songs?
Oh man. I don't know.
We bring the boom. We bring the boom to you.
Yeah.
Do you think that that fear of flying directly correlates to the value you put on your life? Because like for a while, when I get on a plane now, I'm just like, bro, if it goes down, it fucking goes down, dude. Like, what are you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ever think. And also, are you somewhat influenced by the 0 crashes due to turbulence statistic?
Yeah, I try not to think about it anymore.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
No,
stop.
you should.
No.
Think
Let's
about
stop.
that.
No, don't.
I think you should think about that. I'll give you some things to help you cope. One of them is there have been 0 crashes because of turbulence in domestic flights in the United States.
You're scaring them. I can tell.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean? There's
it's
0.
But you're talking about crashes.
No, but statistic. I'm a statistics guy.
Okay.
So you can feel however you want to feel. But
Sure.
if there's a 0% chance statistically that anything's going to happen when you hit turbulence, especially if your seatbelt's on.
You would agree with me though that in the moment of intense turbulence, you might.
It's horrifying.
Nick, I hate it.
Horrifying.
I hate it.
You might need to text a few people and say,
yeah, for sure,
just in case.
That's one. Also, no domestic flight crashes in general in the United States in like the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I forget what the stat is.
That's not helpful for me.
No, but again,
can't make this conversation end.
It's a stat. What do you mean? It's a good stat.
You said 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know what.
I'm asking ChatGPT, bro. I'm sorry.
There hasn't been a crash in the last 3, 4, 5,
when
6,
was
7,
the last
8 years.
commercial domestic airline flight in the United States?
No, flight. 5 seconds ago.
I'm sorry. I have to. Operated in 1991, dude. Like, you're good.
What was it, TWA 800? No, what? That's not right. What did you ask?
I said, when was the last commercial domestic airline flight in the United States?
Read that question one more
When
time.
was the last commercial domestic air? Oh,
And the last airline flight in the United States was in 91.
Oh, sorry,
Thanks,
sorry,
ChatGPT,
sorry.
for
Hold on.
nothing.
let me get back in the saddle.
Not helping. It's not helping.
No, I'm gonna help you. When I meant to say, when was the last commercial airline flight that crashed in the United States?
Mhm.
Oh,
The most recent major commercial airline crash in the United States was on February 12th, 2009.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Is
That's
that Gordon
15 years.
Ramsay?
16 years, bro. 16 years, you're good. 16 years, you're good.
well,
16 years, bro. And here's another thing that might help you cope. Ready? Because Nina also has this flight anxiety like you
Okay.
have, very bad. She has this flight app, a flight tracker app, Flight Radar, where she can see all of the flights that are going on and track any flight. So if she sees a plane in the air, she'll be like, oh, that's coming from here and it's landing here. And I think it makes her feel better about the amount of flights that are actually taking place. You can see all these little
That's good.
plane emojis,
That's good.
logos on the thing. And like, bro, statistically, you're good. So if you can look at it as like a mind over matter thing, which truly, bro, it is. Truly it is. Or my second suggestion is, get blackout drunk so that you're hungover on the flight, and sometimes you'd actually be okay with it crashing.
I haven't done that.
I have, and I'm not kidding. Sometimes I'm like, damn, honestly, just put me out of my misery. But then there's all other people, and so that's actually not.
Yeah,
the
I haven't
solution.
tried that one.
Yeah, but
do you ever go in cars? Because cars are very dangerous.
Oh, do I just ever go in a car in general? Yeah. I've been in a car.
you're driving home after this.
I'm driving home. After
Super
this.
dangerous.
But what I was gonna say is like I would probably choose an 8-hour car ride over an hour and a half flight.
Listen, dude, what you're saying makes sense. Like, think about what. Have you ever been sitting on a plane and you're like, I am trapped in a floating toboggan,
Tunnel.
an aluminum toboggan right now that is flying through the sky using highly flammable jet fuel.
also relying on two strangers you've never met before to make sure you get there safely.
And in a very stressful day and age, like who knows what Tommy from fucking Michigan is wanting
This
to do with
doesn't.
this.
It definitely doesn't help.
No, but you're right. I get it. And also,
I thought you said we weren't gonna.
No,
I'm sorry.
I just relating to your concern. But back to the stats.
last
You're
point.
fine.
No, last point. No turbulence related crashes. Now, as of the past year,
Yeah.
there's been a tremendous amount of turbulence related deaths.
But that's because they don't have their seatbelts on.
But who the freak wears their seatbelt mid-flight?
No, but
Oh,
in
weirdo?
heavy turbulence, you got to put that seatbelt
Yeah, you put it on.
brother.
You want to know where it's happening? Where you'll? I don't want to.
Don't tell me.
Don't tell you. Okay. I don't want to. I don't want to tell you.
No, I'll be good.
It's
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
I will say it's over a major body of water.
I'll be good without it.
Notorious. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, I'll be good. without
But
it.
there was one recently, and dude, I watched a video of a dude. I watched a video of a dude that somehow ended up in the baggage compartment. I'm not kidding. The turbulence. You can find this video online. The turbulence was so strong they had to pull him out
Bro,
of
come
full
on.
body.
Come on.
Out of. You go back to the conversation. I'll find the video.
What?
Go ahead. Go. I'll show you right now. I'll show you. Sorry.
Did we get that? That was gangster.
That was
Yeah, that was
awesome.
good.
That was cool as
You're
fuck.
athletic.
I literally, before I did it, I thought, if I get this, that's gonna be cool.
That was really cool.
And it was. It's like it happened in my mind and then happened in real
that
life.
was really cool. Yep.
Anyways, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry for doing all that, but you're fine, Nick.
It'll be all right.
I mean,
Helicopters?
Never been in one.
Would you?
Probably not.
I don't like those. no more.
those. I don't know about those so much.
I just did New York to the Hamptons a couple weeks ago. and I
Never been in
like
one.
it.
I did New York to the Hamptons.
Mm-mm.
No, well, you just said that because if I had said Cape Cod, you wouldn't have made that voice.
I went to Cape Cod.
No, you can't do that. All right, fine.
I think Hamptons and Nantucket.
All right, so how about this? Detroit.
I flew my helicopter to Detroit. I went to 8 Mile. Anyways, bro, that's it. That's all we got for you today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You-
Wait, no, you say something.
Yeah.
Anything. Could be anything you want.
Just anything at all.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
That's fine. Take your time. We have nowhere to go. There's no rush hour up here in fucking Canada.
Canada.
I mean, we're close, right?
We're pretty close.
Okay.
Watch out for bears.
I thought we were going to talk about the MrBeast challenge.
I think we should.
Oh my God, we started the video with that.
I think we should.
We just never talked
never
about it.
talked about it.
Yeah. What a crazy experience.
First of all, let's be clear. You didn't run out on purpose. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. No. Complete
We
accident.
don't sleep there overnight and get no sleep and tough it out like that, and then you just run out. That
No.
was not on purpose.
No. Why would I do that?
Also, I know Jimmy didn't just tell you the challenges.
No, he absolutely
No,
did.
I know.
You
I
can
know.
also ask him. Anyone can
I know
ask
he
him.
wouldn't do. I just know he wouldn't do that.
No.
Yeah, I know he didn't do that.
Thank-
So I will.
thanks.
I will support you here.
Thank you.
On that. I know. I will vouch that that did not happen.
There are still some people to this day that refuse to let that reality sink in their minds.
I think you're just competitive because I think when we saw each other early on or maybe partway through, we knew we were both very competitive, and that's why we made a good team later in the challenge. But I think you're just competitive, and that's why you made it that far in the challenge. That's one reason. We got a little lucky too with some of the challenges.
I was gonna say, man,
No, there was some luck, but it wasn't all. It was not all luck.
I have to be honest. I wouldn't consider myself as competitive as I am strategic.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, either way, so that got you to
Yeah.
that got you to the end, right? I think
Yeah.
you didn't run out on purpose though.
No.
I know that.
No, dude, Nick, I threw that plate.
I know. I saw it all.
And,
yeah.
But I turned around and it was your look that made me realize what I had done.
Mhm.
I think your hands were above your head and I seen your big ass blue eyes wide open and I was like,
I felt bad. Too.
what the fuck? I'm not standing next to Nick anymore.
Mhm.
Dude, I'm not kidding. That was probably the moment in my life where I felt the most stupid. Everyone was just looking at me like, no, it's subjective. You're not me.
I know.
I-
That seems like
Nah. I mean, look, I felt stupid a lot. But that, dude, thanks. Did you enjoy that experience though, meeting all the creators
I
and
thought it
stuff?
was really fun.
It was, right?
Everyone was super nice too.
Yeah, almost everyone.
Almost everyone.
yeah.
Yeah, but would you do another MrBeast challenge
Yeah, I'll probably do another one. It was fun.
if he invited you back?
I don't know how much I loved sleeping over.
It became a little campy.
It's kind of disgusting also with the porta potties.
I told Jimmy, I said, bro, I said two things. A, I think you need to like, why don't we get like actual catering, like real cater? Like, why are we living in
what
these
did you- what
conditions?
did
I
you
think they
What'd
made
you
it
eat?
bad on purpose. It was bad. All the stuff.
It's just like it felt like you dropped what 3-4 million on this video. Why is the last thing you skimp out on it like the living conditions and like the porta potty?
Well, yeah,
and-
but he like he said, it probably was done.
I think it was on purpose. Yeah.
It is on purpose. He's trying to like, bro, there's $1 million on the line. I'm sorry. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Like for all of his challenges, like even I seen like some of the Amazon contestants like complaining about what happened. Yo, there's $5 million fucking dollars on the line. Did you think that was going to be easy?
Yeah.
Like
I think it was trying to make it difficult.
But there was porta potties.
And that
they would wheel them in. Yeah.
And they just like
do
they left
you
it
think it's
overnight, right? And
Yeah,
it
also-
was next to my bed, I think.
It was. And it was so small. Like you probably had trouble fitting.
Oh, it was tough to get in there.
So
you
tiny.
couldn't open and close the doors.
Do you think it's weirder to like go to the porta potty at like a music festival like Coachella, or like if you know that you're smelling Kai Cenat shit? Like, do you think that makes it weirder? Like, if you know that one of the, like,
Are you
one of the,
asking me that question?
yeah, or just like you just know that a creator that like you saw Logan go in the porta potty before you go in there, it's just fucking rank, bro.
There
Like, does
was
that-
one person who had some stomach issues, he said that day, and it was bad.
It was Landon. I felt so bad for him. I
You're
felt
just gonna out him like that, huh?
well, honestly, bro, fuck him because he accused me of cheating as well. Like,
Yeah.
bro, everyone who thought that, fuck you. I got like, especially the ones who accused me of cheating and then cheated themselves, assholes. I'm done. I'm done.
You had to get it out.
I just don't. I don't.
He
Hypocrisy.
hasn't gotten it out yet.
Yeah.
Trust me, we're gonna handle it elsewhere. We're just not gonna bring this type of beef into your cooking.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Like-
stick to the beef, Wellington.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk about any of the records, bro. What Guinness Book records do you have? Rattle some off.
We have we're about to work on the world's largest chocolate bar. We have largest beef Wellington with Gordon. We've got most fast food restaurants. I think some of these have been broken, by the way. So I don't know which ones, but most fast food restaurants visit in 24 hours. We have
Cake pop.
Yeah, world's largest cake pop that I did with like Linja.
How big was the cake pop?
I don't remember.
Who-
20? No, I don't.
Who eats it?
44 pounds, maybe
That's a huge cake pop.
44 pounds.
Who eats it after you make this giant cake?
You have to donate it. You
No, your
cannot.
cake pop weighed 97 pounds.
44 kilograms.
Oh,
Did I read it?
wow.
Yep.
Is it 44 kilograms?
It's no, that would be too much.
Really?
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, I was like, I don't
sorry,
think
sorry.
I-
44 kilograms.
44 kilograms, 90 something pounds.
Damn.
Yeah.
Almost 100 pounds, right?
Talk
what
to us
else?
about this chicken nugget.
The world's largest chicken nugget.
46 pounds.
Guinness World Records will not let you waste any food they watch, and if you waste the food,
So wait, what do you have to do with it?
you have to donate it or like package it up. Or,
What?
it's hard. It's hard.
Who's eating 90 pounds of cake pop?
Well, it's just cake. It's just cake and frosting mixed up together. So you just
Oh.
can send it off to like a couple different places that'll take donations.
So what did you do with the 57-pound beef Wellington? Like
Same thing.
Sliced it?
Yeah, probably just sliced it and quartered it, and then just put it in plastic wrap and sent it off. Yeah, it was really all of them were really the records are fun. You know, it's just like a fun little challenge. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Guinness has gotten cool
Guinness has gotten super cool.
as well. Like I tried to set a world record when I was 11
Yeah.
on a pogo stick,
Okay.
and like I went through all the like
Paperwork,
submissions, all of it, only
Yeah.
to get like ultimately never responded to. Not even denied. It just like never responded.
Mhm.
And now you know that we got a little clout. I think they pay attention a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, like what do you want to do?"
They probably answer your phone calls now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest with you. Now that they're answering, specifically with my Pokemon card, they were just so cool with
Yeah.
it. I don't know. Like I had a little PTSD from when I was 11 because I
Yeah.
really wanted to set this pogo stick record.
A lot of people grow up and just have this dream to get in the Guinness Book of World Records because
Yeah.
it's such a cool book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This dude, Sensor, he broke the pull-up record
Yeah.
in 24 hours, 9,250 reps.
What?
You saw it happened?
Cameron Haynes' son, I think, is trying to beat that record.
Well, guess what? He did it. And like he had trained for it. He's like the pull-up guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
They disqualified him because he did it for charity. You can't be associated with any organization or charity. I don't know if they ended up rolling that back, but last time I checked, he
you
was
have to pay.
disqualified
That's ridiculous.
because he was donating per pull-up to some like charity.
That's ridiculous.
It was a full-on like donation situation. They were like, "Well, since you're aligned with the charity, you're disqualified."
They are very by the book, and if you mess up one thing,
Wow.
they'll
kill you.
They'll pretty much pull it. We've failed them before, so
Oh, you have?
Mhm.
Damn.
yeah,
Do you know? The last question from on my end, and then I'll rest my case.
sure.
Also, I should say this. Thank you so much for getting into specificities on food with me. I've been waiting to do this. And
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
good.
sorry to the audience members who don't like this type of granular.
Food is great. Food is great.
I believe that there's more food, or there's a little bit of a food audience in each and every one of us.
I think
It
so.
just depends on what thing you're talking about. But people love food. It's one of the most naturally occurring dopamine and necessities in life. And that's why I love it as a niche for you.
Yeah.
Pizza. Where's the best pizza on the planet in your eyes currently?
Currently, for me, it's and I have a little bias because of Rhode Island. It's a restaurant in Providence called
Holy shit.
Al Forno.
How does it feel to live on that island by yourself?
Oh no. Okay, I
There-
thought you were going to agree with me.
No, there can't be a. Have you had all the New York spot? I mean, you're so close.
I was really excited for a second. I thought you were going to be like, "That's my
Yeah.
favorite."
Well, I've just
place
never
in the
heard.
whole
I mean,
world."
I can't doubt you because you're a big food guy.
Please, seriously, it's called Al Forno. I have no tie to. I worked there. I worked there because of how much I loved it when I was growing up in Rhode Island. But this isn't some sort of plug that like I don't like.
Of
the
course,
best.
no, of course.
It's grilled pizza.
Oh,
And
yeah,
they
okay.
invented it there. No, it's you got it.
What does that fucking mean? Dude?
Okay, so
Because you're what you're saying is offensive right now.
okay
To a
okay.
lot of people. To
Okay.
a lot of people.
Hear me out, okay?
Great.
When I think about food, I think about just the balance in whatever food we're discussing. This has everything perfectly balanced. It has the dough is chewy, but also has a nice crust to it. So you have both of those kind of playing off each other. Then it's simple. It's simple ingredients. There's a blend of 3 cheeses. There's some simple tomato sauce splatted on the pizza. It's a messy sort of pizza, so it's not pretentious or fancy. And then there's nice fresh herbs that could kind of give that like bright pop to it. And it's just so well rounded. Then you got that char, so which is that nice extra flavor from the char from the grill itself. It's grilled over coal. It's an unbelievable pizza.
You,
So
and
that
you grew up on this?
well,
You're
I'm telling you, that will go down
When I-
forever as my favorite pizza ever. No one's gonna give me a slice that I like more. I mean, I get spoiled with a lot of good food. So literally less than 7 days ago, I was in Italy at a place called I Masanielli, which was like top 2 pizza restaurants in the world. #1 last year, #2 this year. It's fantastic. It's amazing. It's Neapolitan style pizza, and it's just like you take a bite of it, and it's hot and it's cheesy, and it just cooked for only 30 to 40 seconds in the oven, and it's done, and it's amazing to watch, and it's delicious. But this one from Al Forno from Providence is going to go down as my best.
But that's because you have a relationship with it. Like
A lot of people, if they've had it, they'll.
Well, I'm gonna go get it, right? But what I'm trying to say to you is like, if you had asked me, you know, what my favorite amusement park in the world was when I was 8, I wouldn't say Disney World. I would say the one at Orange Avenue School because it has the funny plastic slide that goes to the right and left. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a tie to this grilled
he's saying
pie.
He's saying it can stand on its own.
No, I'm
Sounds
telling
like.
you, it's good.
Well, the reason why it's hard for me is because I'm from Milford, which is a part of New Haven County, and New Haven.
So I'll agree with you.
has-
New Haven has less pizza offerings, but better overall quality of pizza, whereas New York has a much more widespread amount of pizzas.
Yep.
And New Haven has the best pizzas probably in the country.
Yep.
I would agree with you on that.
Some would say the world.
Less of a spread, but they have some of the best in the world or in the country. Especially New York. That's what we all think of, right? New York has a better overall average. That's what I would say. That's what I would say.
Absolutely.
So I agree with you on that. And I know you probably wanted me to say one of the 3 places in
Oh, I
New
like that
Haven.
you know that there's 3. So you know your New Haven pizza.
I mean, this is my job,
Pepe
right? I
Sally's
gotta know this stuff.
Pepe
Yeah.
Sally's modern.
But Al Forno and that grilled pizza, I just think it's such a well-rounded.
I'm going.
It's really.
I will go there.
It's something special, and it's different, but it's just like it's pizza. It's definitely pizza, and it's really.
So next time I make a D-Gen run to Mohegan, because I do that quite often.
Okay.
How far is it from Mohegan to this pizza place? Would you
How
say?
far is it to Providence? I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Probably 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I'll
yeah,
get it
yeah,
done.
yeah. Just let me know. They don't
will.
take reservations. You show up, whatever. But like, yeah, let me know if you want to go, and I'll help you get there.
Amazing.
And it's really special. Wow. Yeah.
Al Forno.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
very good. It's very
Amazing.
good.
What's your cookbook called? For those who want to cook like Nick D.
Knife drop.
Knife drop.
Because
Oh,
I
that's
Oh,
did
that's cool. Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
right.
knife drop.
Okay.
It was fun. Oh, we have it. Oh, I don't even.
Is it close
Yeah,
enough
yeah,
to my
yeah.
hand to actually end up in it?
It could end up
Just-
in your hand
just
if you wanted to.
momentarily.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun cookbook. Yeah. Yeah. It did better than I thought it would do. To be honest with you, I didn't know so many people would want to buy a cookbook from
Dude,
me.
look at him on the cover of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
dude.
come on,
What
bro.
the hell?
Come on now. GQ.
Are you
GQ shit.
serious?
That's me.
Have you ever thought about doing any kind of like modeling?
No. But look, I mean, that's basically modeling right there.
Yeah,
You stand there with the knife, you smile.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay wrote the foreword. That's sick. That's awesome. Nick, dude, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I wish you nothing but the best and all success in your future. You're such a nice kid, and thank you for doing this video or wanting me to do the video. It was so cool.
No, thank you guys. This was great. I'm so glad this worked out. Nice little fireplace.
Yeah.
Nobody knows this probably from the edit, but we are far away from each other.
So
right now.
far.
Like, I can't even hear I just can't hear you. Really.
Yeah. Without the headphones would
no,
be.
seriously.
Might not be such a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are far.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited about this book. I'm taking this. Thank you.
Yeah,
bro.
you should take the book. Guys, thanks so much for having me.
We love you, Nick. Thank you, guys. Nick DiGiovanni, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Bye.